I really want to know, and you guys can be honest here, when you think about a teacher, what is like the characteristics that come to your mind, or even events? Like for me, when I'm thinking of it, it's sit still, be quiet, don't talk when they're talking, and like that's what I think of when I think of teachers. And I can tell you, teachers are the worst. Like we'll tell kids, like all of you, I'll be like, be quiet, don't do this, and then when the principal's up talking to us, we're the worst. We are talking nonstop. We're on our cell phones. Like we are the worst at that. So I'd kind of like to start by just crowd interaction here. No, my wife's like, no, I'm not. I just sit there like a good angel and listen. I wouldn't doubt. Okay, that's me. I don't listen. But anyway, what do you guys think of when you think of teachers, like characteristics and stuff? Anything, good or bad? I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Exhausted? Huh? Chaos? Anything else? No one has any thoughts about teachers? Well, that's not good or bad. Service? Grateful? What about, what are abilities or traits that they have to have? Patience, most definitely. Empathy. Hey! Nailed it on the head, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. This whole lesson is over just that. It's empathy. And empathy, like it took me a couple years into my teaching profession to really understand why I needed empathy. Like that 5-second memory. When a kid sleeps in my class because math is just the most interesting subject in the entire world, why is he sleeping? Is he up all night taking care of his family and he needs I can't just jump on a kid and say, wake yourself up. Most of the time, yeah, they've been up playing video games till 3 a.m, and math is just not that interesting of a subject to most people except me. But sometimes it's a little bit more than that. A girl in my class sleeps sometimes because she already has a kid. And so I have to kind of put myself into her shoes and think she's up all night with this kid and she's trying to do this. Like, if you need a day out of the week, just tell me. And it's just that level of empathy. When a kid, and believe me, it happens, like if Nathan stands up right now and just curses me out, just no reason at all, and I have to go, okay, Nathan, well, get yourself out of here so we're not distracting everybody else. Like, how am I going to react when that kid comes back into me the next day? And if in my honest opinion, if everyone had the mindset of a teacher, because when that kid comes back into me next day, it's, hey, Nathan, what's up? You doing okay? All right, good. Let's start a new day. And if you treat every single human being like that, just think how much better the world would be if we just forgive and forget real quick, and the next day is a new day. And that's kind of what I want to, it was kind of put on me to just talk about, is empathy and having empathy for other people. So I'm going to first, like I said, I've got videos galore up here. Oh, no. I had videos galore. I'll let this one kind of speak to you first.
Particular attributes in the person of Jesus that express his genius. And the reason we're focusing on these particular attributes is that these are exactly the attributes that are transferable. These are the expressions of genius that you and I can actualize in our lives. And so this isn't just so that we can learn about who Jesus is. This is so we can actually come to know who we were created to become. Chapter 3 is the genius of empathy. I begin here because I do think that empathy encompasses the person of Jesus at a level that perhaps no other virtue really does. Empathy is how love communicates. And if we understand that what the scriptures teach us is that God is love. And what that means is that everything that God does is an act of love. God is always motivated by love. Everything he touches is created out of love and is created for love. And so the entire universe, it's an expression of genius. But what informed the universe was love. And if you want to understand God and his intention, his actions, his motive, all you need to do is begin to understand love. And empathy is how love communicates through the life of Jesus in every encounter, which is one of the reasons I've always been so mesmerized by the encounters in the Gospels where Jesus begins to have conversations with people. Most of those conversations, you find that the intellectual class of his time were always trying to bring Jesus' thinking down to academics, to intellect, to facts, to doctrines, and even to dogma. But Jesus would never allow them to lower his level of thinking. So they're talking about rules and Jesus is talking about love. They're talking about do's and don'ts and Jesus is talking about love. They're talking about the commandments and Jesus is talking about love. And he retranslates for them every single passage that they have misunderstood or misapplied or misdirected. And as I've studied even human behavior after 40 years of intensely trying to understand human dynamics, I've come to this conclusion that empathy is the highest form of intelligence. That if you're great at math, that's amazing. If you're brilliant in the arena of physics, that's extraordinary, whether it's botany or biology, whether it's science or medicine, whether your genius is expressed in the realm of art or music, that's extraordinary. But the highest expression of intelligence is love. And when love is translated into a different field and different genre, it translates in a more powerful way. You can actually see when art is fueled by love, when music is inspired by love. You can actually see when science is actually informed by love. You can see when an organization, whether it's a business organization or a religious organization, when it is actually fueled by love. And by the way, the best parenting is fueled by love. The relationships that last are fueled by love. Everything that holds its meaning is held together by love. And the wonder of empathy is not the same as sympathy when you feel for someone else. But with empathy, you actually feel with someone else. You have a level of intelligence that permeates the facts and the figures. What I've discovered in my own life is that the worst decisions I've ever made are the ones where I was unaware or not paying attention to or didn't care enough about how other people are affected by my choices, my words, my life. And the most powerful choices I've ever made, the ones that I would make over and over again, 1,000 times and again, are the ones that were motivated by love. And frankly, whether you're in the world of business or whether you're in the world of science, whether you're a teacher, whether you're an entrepreneur, I can tell you this. The worst mistakes that you will ever make in your life will not cost you money. They will cost you people. And the best decisions you will ever make will not simply multiply for you wealth or fame or power or position. The best decisions you'll ever make in your life will deepen the value of relationships in your life. When you look back on your life, the highs and lows of your life will be measured not by failure or success, not by wealth or poverty, not by fame or anonymity. The highs and lows of your life will be measured by the relationships in your life. Empathy is how Jesus related to every single human being. He could see life from their perspective. He could feel what they were feeling. He could know their inner world. He wasn't ever looking from the outside in with every conversation with every person. He was looking from the inside out. There's a power and being able to see through the eyes of others. If you've ever worked in business, one of the things you come to know is that fresh eyes are really important. That if you have a problem that you just can't solve, it's so important to bring new eyes into a situation. Well, what empathy allows you to do is that it allows you to see problems, it allows you to see circumstances, it allows you to see crisis with outside eyes. You're able to see the world around you, not simply from where you are, but from where those who are most affected by your choices are standing. There's a power in empathy that, well, is transcendent. And if you ever want to step into the genius of Jesus, it always begins with empathy.
Okay, so he kind of said it. The main thing is sympathy or empathy. Like, what is one good, one's bad, or are they both? What's the difference? And there's actually, like, as I was going through and kind of doing my research and learning a little bit more about this and praying, like, I found there's a huge debate online about sympathy versus empathy. There's pastors that are against empathy. They think it's almost as bad of a sin as anything else because they're saying you are validating someone's sins, basically. That's their opinion on that. So, maybe. There we go. So, he kind of said it there. Sympathy is when you feel for someone from what you understand. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry this went bad for you, or things like that. I'm sorry you lost this person, but there's nothing connecting you with them. You can say, like, I'll pray for you, and you do that, but, I mean, does the person actually know or is aware of what you're doing for them? Whereas empathy, he said it, is putting yourself in their situation and trying to feel what they are feeling, and you're feeling it with them. You're feeling the pain or the sorrow or whatever it is. And I mean, there's so much that goes with empathy from the Bible, and I've kind of put it all together just to prove, like, it was almost proving to myself that empathy is not a sin. Like, feeling what someone else is feeling and trying to be with them is not a sin, regardless what people way smarter than me think. So, empathy, is it a sin? Are you validating sin by trying to understand it and how it makes people feel? Do we weep with those who are weeping, regardless what they are weeping for? Some things come up where they say, like, do you weep for the drug dealer who lost his drugs down a street drain, and that's why he's weeping? Do you weep, like, and that's what they're trying to get at. And they're like, they want you to feel more sympathetic than anything, feel sorry for them that this is happening to them, but you're not part of that. They liken it to a person drowning or a person in quicksand. They think empathy is, okay, you want to feel what they're feeling, so go jump in the quicksand with them. You're not doing any good for anybody. Whereas sympathy, they liken it to holding on a tree branch, putting your foot in the sand and trying to pull them out, and you're not actually doing the action with them. Well, I couldn't really disagree more. If someone's down there drowning, I am jumping in the water with them, and I'm going to try and pull them out. Like, I'll do everything possible to do that. And my job, like, I'm not allowed to speak of my religion and talk to the kids about God unless they bring it up first. So how am I supposed to be able to reach someone, a kid or a person, without understanding why it is that they're drowning? Why is it they are down there in the quicksand? Why is it I've got to understand it, and then I've got to kind of shine my light without saying words and make them want to be kind of what I'm presenting. And there's no greater feeling. I think in my 7 years, we did, and I'll get to it a little bit later, but we did like a strengths and lesser strengths test. And my number one was spirituality. And I had kids just like, oh, yep, that is you. That's definitely you. And I try and be empathetic, think of their situations. I don't say anything unless they bring it up. I just try and prove through my actions that I'm a Christ follower. I live through him. I'm trying to show you guys that this can be an awesome thing if you want to be a part of it. And if you want to, then ask me. And I say that to my basketball players too. And I'm starting to get kids coming to me and saying, like, I'm getting life questions. Like, I've dreaded this being a girls basketball coach. They're starting to ask me about boys situations and stuff. And I'm like, just leave them alone. Just don't get away from. I was like, I told you I'd love you like I love my daughter, and I'm telling her she's not dating until she's out of high school. So don't just don't worry about it. And they're like, that's not good. And I was like, well, and then I'll go on to like worrying about what you can control and stuff. And I'm going off on tangent. But anyway, back to this. I really have to understand what these kids are going through before I can help them in any way. We have an advisory class at my school where kids it's kind of like a school-wide study hall for a 40-minute period of time. And this is the first year I've had it happen to me. One of my kids in my advisory class passed away. He passed away from a drug overdose. Good kid, very respectful. He would come in, talk to you, and had a good smile, lights up the world, but you knew like he was into bad stuff. He was getting in things he wasn't, but he was still respectful and good to you and stuff. And nothing churns your brain more than, well, what could I have done? What could I have said to this kid to change this outcome? Because he's not here anymore. I didn't do anything. So just sitting there being sympathetic of his situation, did it help? Is he here? No, he's gone. If I was empathetic and I kind of took action and felt what he was feeling with him, maybe there could have been a change. But I didn't take that action, and now I've got to live with that forever and ever. And I can't believe that empathy is a sin, because the whole purpose of Jesus Christ coming to be with us was so he could feel what we felt day in and day out, to feel empathy. So, sorry, I reject anyone that tells me that empathy is a sin. I just don't believe it. Could be wrong, but I think I have 5 Bible verses that would tell me something different. Straight from Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 3. Remember the prisoners as if chained with them. I mean, the very first one we're pulling out, you're feeling what they're feeling. You're thinking of them, and you're feeling what the prisoners are feeling. Those who are mistreated, feel what they're feeling, since you yourselves are in the body also. So this is the first of 5 Bible verses I found that straight up tell me to have empathy, to be with them, to feel what they're feeling. So, next crowd participation thing. What are some professions that you think deserve empathy, just from what they deal with day in and day out? I picked 3, but I'm interested to see what you guys think. Are there any professions you think that just get treated terribly when they really shouldn't deserve it, or we kind of got to put ourselves in their shoes? Nurses. I've heard that one a few times. When I looked it up, that was one of the highest ones. Police officers, most definitely, another good one. Anything else? Firefighters? What? Teachers? Yeah, we do. Our military? Yeah, feel what they feel. And same thing with firefighters. Feel like, man, if you don't think about, and police officers, I mean, they put their lives on the line every single day, and they still get treated like terribly. The ones I thought of, and I mean, like you said, there's tons of them. The first one I thought of was any school leadership position. They do a ton of stuff behind the scenes, and you only really hear about them when they do something wrong. Like, you never hear anything they do well, or you're always criticizing them for how a school is ran. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and it's such a difficult job, and they're constantly being attacked and nonstop. So before you go and attack a school administrator or even a teacher, like, we talked about, like, think about the position that they're in and what they have to deal with day in and day out. This one's one of my favorites, but just customer service people. Someone is the first person you see, and someone walks in and just starts attacking. It's because they're the first, like they have any decisions whatsoever in this billion-dollar company. We're going to show this $10 an hour person, well, who's boss, or this high school kid, who's boss. They've screwed me, and we're just going to attack them from the moment we see them. I don't understand it. Like when telemarketers call me, I'll mess with them, but the first thing I say is, I know this isn't you. This isn't, or when I called, I think it was DirecTV all the time, when I had problems with them nonstop, and I would always call, I'd be like, I know this isn't you. I'm not going to yell at you, but this is unfair, and I'd talk and stuff, but I always tried to maintain my cool and just explain my situation and explain to them that I knew what position they're in. I know they can't fix everything because they're not allowed, but at the same time, like, I don't want to pay this. So there's a good balance there that you need, but think about the customer service. And then the last one is my all-time favorite. I love this one. Put yourself in their shoes. They are the most hated individual in a crowd of people. And believe me, I'm a coach. We are mortal enemies, me and them. But I have made it a mission to change society as much as I can. I'm the head coach of a girls' basketball program. Things can get heated in the moment, and I will tell my parents every time, please, please, please do not attack these people. Just because they're wearing those colors does not give you a license to verbally harass somebody, and make them feel like they're less of a human being. I can't agree with it. Now, on the flip side, do I sometimes get on them a little bit? Yes. But if you come to my basketball games, I try so hard just to let them do their job. I don't yell at them. I don't talk to them. If I have a question, I'll call them over. Now, if I feel like the safety of my players is in jeopardy, that's when you'll see me get a little bit more animated. And most of the time, my players hate it. They want me to yell and scream at this person and blame him for how bad we're doing. I don't do that. I don't believe it. I don't believe he's just doing the best he can. And as long as he's protecting the wellness of my kids, I will not try and embarrass him in front of an entire crowd. And I'm trying so hard to get that culture changed. Now, in front of my television, I will berate this guy to no end. But and as a person in front of a crowd, I'm trying to change things. And I hope that if you guys go to a sporting event, you do the same and try and be empathetic of his situation or her situation. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. Ephesians chapter 4:32. Forgiveness is a requirement to be empathetic of someone. I can't have a kid curse me out one day and then I just hold that on forever and ever. It's not going to work. That kid will not be able to succeed in my classroom the rest of the year. I have to be able to, and teachers have to be able to forgive pretty quick and forget and just move on. Kids are going to be kids, and even adults, like teachers. Sometimes I argue with teachers, and I have to work with this person. I'm sure you guys have that same situation. Forgive them one day, move on, and be their best friend the next. Be loving. Kind of like he said, the biggest requirement of everything is just to have love and to treat people like you love them. They're not going to work with anybody without being able to do that. And like I mentioned earlier, I had that. We were required when I was in school to do the strength. They called it strengths and lesser strengths. It wasn't strengths and weaknesses, because everything, I guess, is our strength. But we had strengths and lesser strengths. And like I said, my first one was spirituality, and then my second one was forgiveness. And then I had like honesty was third. My last one was I don't appreciate the beauty in the world. Like that's my lesser strength. It's not a weakness, but I don't just look around and be like, oh, except for whoever did this yard out here with the stripes and everything. Beautiful job, whoever's mowing this. But anyway, like you have to, in order to be empathetic, you have to be able to forgive people, not hold on to things forever and ever, and just be able to move on, even if they don't ask it, because God doesn't ask us if we want his forgiveness. He just does it. How can we be empathetic? Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic. So it's not a bad thing to be sympathetic. Love one another, be compassionate, and humble. This is Jesus telling us this. 1 Peter 3:8. Okay? So, let me find where my notes are. The like-minded that they talk about is we are all of one mind, or we're supposed to be, and that one mind is Jesus-like. To have the same mind as he has, to think of everything in the same way. It's that what would Jesus do type thing. Everyone's got to do that. And when it was what would Jesus do, Jesus was empathetic. He was. He tried to live in our shoes to figure out what was going on, what kind of temptations we're faced with, what problems we have, so that he had a full understanding. And I'll get to later why, but how can we be empathetic is being that like-minded. So questions you could ask yourself when you're trying to be empathetic of someone. Who are they? Why are they the way that they are? Or how do they become that person? What do they know? How did they learn whatever they know? What do they care about, and why do they care about it? How do they feel, and why do they feel like that? Every day, every single day, at least one of those questions goes through my mind when I look at a kid. When I have a kid with his head down on the desk, does he hate math? Is there something going on at home? Why is he reacting the way he does to this person? Why is she acting the way or treating this person like this? What's the driving force behind that? Because it's not always just that's the person they are. No, the second person is how did they become that person? It's not their fault. It's something has created them like that, or they've been influenced by something. And I got to figure out what that is so that I can kind of empathize with them, figure out what they're feeling, and then try and show reactions as to how to avoid doing that. And it really all starts, like I have one kid, I thought, how am I going to get through this year with this kid? Like talks nonstop, throws out vulgar things randomly in my classroom. And I'm like, there's no way I'm making it through the year with this kid. And then one day I said, okay, it's got to be enough. I got to talk to him. I got to figure out what's going on. So had him stay after class. We had a conversation. He has Tourette's, so half of it's really not his, he just can't handle himself. So we talked a little bit and what we could do to make the year better for both of us to get through it, because he hates math and stuff. He still has outbursts, but I'm empathetic of it. I understand his situation, and we have a tremendous relationship now. Calls me Batman. I don't remember where that came from, but I'm Batman to him, and he puts it in all of his emails and talks to me, what's up, Batman? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll take it because he's the best character there is. But it's just that simple conversation of showing that I care about someone. I was like, hey, what do you want to do after high school? What is it you care about? What is it you enjoy? And he's like, I want to go to the Career Center. I want to do this. Well, in order to go to the Career Center, you need to be able to pass this class, and you need to be able to have a behavior, because if you do this over there, they're just going to send you back here, and you don't want to be here, do you? And from then on, it's just a moment of caring about what their interests are, what they care about, why they feel a certain way. It changed the entire year. Then you have another kid where I did the same thing, but he's still doing the same things over and over. But eventually, we'll get there. We'll get there. He's a work in progress. Rejoice with those who rejoice, and just like I said, mourn with those who mourn. The big thing about being empathetic with this is just being involved in this, understanding why someone's rejoicing or why someone is weeping. and being able to feel that way. We got to watch how many, and I'm partially to blame, I do this all the time, but how many of you know a person that one-ups everything you do? Like if you're rejoicing about something, you're really excited and you're like, oh, I just got promoted, I'm the new CEO of this big business. Well, I had 5 chicken nuggets in my 4-piece. How many of you guys know that person who just has to one up? Like you just want someone to listen to you, and they did. Like I'm that person. I'll one up everybody. I'm not lying. I mean, I'll mainly because I don't know what to say. Like I'm tough. You won't know this. I'm an introvert. Like if I don't have something in common with you, and I don't know, I don't make small talk. My wife is she's amazing at it. She'll talk to any of you. If you just, I stand there awkwardly, like I don't know what to say, and that's just me. Okay, so being able to like, my one thing that comes to mind sometimes is, oh yeah, I did this, and then I don't mean to try and one up them, but that's just how I react, or it's the only thing that comes to my mind. But we'll call it like me and Randy one time, we had like a party, and we had Anthony, one of our best friends. We each had this thing that we had to do. We had it on a piece of paper, and we had to act it out. And Anthony's was he had to one up everything that anyone did. So he was that guy. We can call it the Anthony, because if someone went over and took a drink, he had to go get 2 drinks and drink them real fast. Or if somebody said, I did this, he'd be like, oh yeah, well I did this. And he'd try and one up. So it was a fun night. He did a great job at it, but you just want someone to listen to. And that's what we have to be when we're being empathetic, is we got to watch that we're not jealous or envious of their rejoicing. We just need to rejoice with them. We need to watch trying to pull the Anthony and try and one-up people. Just listen. And that's the same thing with weeping. But at the same time, when they're weeping, are we being empathetic with weeping, or are we being sympathetic? Are we involved with them? Are we feeling what they feel, or are we feeling for them? Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Have a good day. And then go off. Or are we saying, oh man, yeah, that would be bad if I felt that way. If that happened to me, man, that's terrible. Let's just sit down and pray about it. Like, which one are we doing when people are weeping? So think about that. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weakness. See, it says it right in the Bible, empathize. But we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. Hebrews 4:15. And it kind of goes back to what I was talking about. Like, he's been here. He came to earth to experience everything we did, or all our temptations. And we're so blessed that we don't have our best human attorney here today, but like when we go to heaven, like we have the ultimate defense attorney, because he's gonna say, okay, I understand they did this, but here's why, and I understand what they were feeling, and we should forgive him. And we should forget, if I don't have that, I'm screwed. I'm done. If I don't have Jesus on my side when I go up there, it's going to be a long eternity for me. But hopefully, when I get up there, he empathizes with me, and he just feels what I was feeling at the time and forgives me for every single transgression that I made. So I'm thankful that we have the high priest who knows us. For my last, that was 4 of the verses that deal with empathy in the Bible. I have one more, and this is for our kinesthetic learners, and this is my okay activity that might just blow up in my face, but we're going to see here. So I need volunteers. Thanks, Randy. Thanks for volunteering. Go ahead. Yeah, come up. We need 2. I think 2. Give me a third one. Who else wants to volunteer? You don't have to do much. It'll be really easy. Randy's got the hard part. Yeah. No. Here, hold that. Actually, put it on. We're going to put ourselves I'm going to try to put ourselves in the shoes of Jesus here and see a situation in which he saw. So I need you to step back a smidge. I need you 2 to come here and face her. Randy, you got those on? Okay. Do you hear music? Can you hear me? Huh? Can you hear me now? I'm playing in Barbie Girl, so he's listening to Barbie World on his thing right now. Can you hear me, Randy? Okay, good. So, so the number, I'm going to tell you guys the rules first. Your number is 314.15. Okay? You hear that number? Memorize it. 314.15. You got it down? Okay, the other rule is we're going to have 3 guesses. You're not allowed to use any fingers or say any words until the 3rd guess. So you just have to stand there and stare at him. Okay? You're not allowed to do anything. Okay? I know. It's a good song, isn't it? Okay, Rand. We are going to play a game. You're going to guess a number between 1 and 500. Hold on, you better wait. We're going to guess a number between 1 and 500. Don't worry about these. It's nothing, okay?
I don't think so.
1 and 500. You get 3 guesses. And if you don't get it, I don't know what will happen. So, go ahead and and you guys are a team on this, so you get 3 guesses. Go ahead, guess one.
Both get 3 guesses.
No.
Okay.
As a team, 3 guesses.
What was being said?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Go ahead and take your first guess, team. No worries.
I don't know what was being said.
Yeah, go ahead and guess a number, 1 through 500.
I'm gonna go with 5 again.
Okay, 5. Was that it? No. Okay. 1. So you got 2 guesses left.
Should I put my
No worries. No. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go with this.
It won't. I think it's still you. She has another set of rules. She can't talk right now.
Talk. Can you tell me what number it is without talking?
She can't even use her fingers. So she's.
Can you
From there, you can
something else?
maybe blink the number of times.
The number of times.
Yeah.
That just numbers there.
She's going to be blinking for a while.
Oh, God. wait. Okay.
All right, time limits came on. 5, 4, 3, say a number.
317.
Ooh, really close, but no, that's wrong too.
What's the hundreds? 3?
All right,
What's the next number?
3rd and final
What's
guess.
the next number?
Do you want to guess? You go ahead
One
and
more
guess.
time. So what's the last number?
It's the 3rd guess. You can use your hands.
314.
Oh. You can talk now. Point. No.
Point it. Pi. 3.14.
You can say. Yeah. You. I said for the 3rd guess, you can talk. Like you can guess it too. Oh, you got it on the 3rd guess. She saved you. Oh, darn it. I was going to dump it on you. You're lucky she saved you there. You were close. 317. I was pretty impressed. Like, great job.
She did the 3, and then I saw she stopped.
Well, they got it. Give them a round of applause. All right. So whose reactions did you pay attention to there for the most part? It was Randy's, right? In the fear in his eyes of what was about ready to happen. What was Layla, right? Huh? Lydia. Dang it. Okay, so Lydia, what was her reactions that whole time? Huh? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. So it came to an okay thing. She was sitting there thinking, you are so dumb right now, because on this 3rd guess, I'm going to get it. Okay? So let's go back to how this applies to Jesus and what Jesus was feeling. And you guys should probably know this Bible verse. But John 11:35, Jesus wept. Why did Jesus weep at this time? Do you remember what was going on? Does anyone remember that one? This was, go ahead. Yeah, this was Lazarus. Okay, when he raised Lazarus, why was he weeping though? Like, I'm Jesus. I know what I'm about to do. I'm going to go raise this guy from the dead. But before that, he wept. Like, what is that? Like, it's him being empathetic of this entire family, seeing them weeping for their lost brother, him knowing, I know for a fact that I'm going to raise this guy, but oh my gosh, imagine what they're going through right now. And so he wept. And that was I was hoping to get like Lydia just looking at him like, if I was the same shoes, if I was Jesus, I promise you I've been going like, yeah, it's real sad, isn't it? Watch what I'm about to do. Like, that'd been me. Like, and that was Lydia. Lydia's like, I know what this is. Like, that's us humans. But the Almighty says, no, I feel this. I know what you guys are going through. But watch this. And then doesn't. Like, it's just him being empathetic. And that's why I reject empathy being a sin. Jesus was empathetic. He was the best at being empathetic. Even when he didn't have to be, he was empathetic. So, the last thing I want to leave you with, how am I doing on time? Am I early or am I late? Am I good? Oh, nice. Just enough time. This is one of the most powerful videos that I have ever viewed. And every time I watch it, I mean, you won't be able to hear me because I'm going to mute myself, but I'll start choking up because it's impactful. And it's just seeing what God is thinking, and they do a great job of showing you how he's trying to understand, or we want to be empathized with constantly, and how Jesus reacts to that, or how God reacts to that. So enjoy this. This is really good stuff. And then musicians, you guys can go ahead and come back up because we'll play as soon as this is over.
Get things out of my life that don't need to be there. Mold me into the image of your Son so that I can be your masterpiece.
Hi,
Whoa. Who are you?
I'm God.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you just said the person, so here I am. That's how it works.
Oh, okay. If you're God, then make it snow in here.
You know, if I made it snow in here, it'd get kind of yucky, and I really don't want to do that.
See, you're not God.
Why do you say that?
God wouldn't say yucky.
Yes, I do. It's a Greek word.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you're God, what does Lamentations 15:9 say?
Lamentations is a very short book. It only has 5 chapters.
Why is it so short?
I was tired of lamenting.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you're God, who's going to win the World Series this year?
You know what? I'm not so much into playing games. Why are you so much into playing games?
You are God.
What gave it away?
You answered my question with a question.
I did? Yep, I do that, don't I? I did it again. Step right up. Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's this about?
These are the tools I'm going to use to make you into my original masterpiece.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Hang on.
Yeah.
I thought you were a carpenter.
That's my son. Here we go. Step right up. Here we go. All right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
How do you know what to chisel and what to leave?
I take out all the things in your life that aren't out of me, kind of like dead weight.
Ooh, speaking of that, could you chisel right in here? I just can't get rid of it. I mean, the other went away, but this, I've tried exercising, I've watched what I ate, I even did Pilates for a while. That was awkward. But if you could chisel,
All right,
right?
You gonna talk or can I chisel? Talk, chisel, talk, chisel.
No,
talk,
chisel.
All right, most of my children just like to talk.
Not me. Bring on the chisel.
Here we go. All right. You have a lot of anger,
Ow.
some pride.
Ow.
Compare yourself to others instead of me.
Ow.
You're lazy, but you pretend like you're really, really busy. You have a problem with lust.
Okay. Time out. I do not have a problem with lust.
You don't have a problem with lust.
No, I can do it anytime I want. Okay. Wait. Maybe we could take a little time out. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good.
You are doing good, but when you look in the mirror, who do you see?
I say me.
Okay, then I need to keep chiseling away because ultimately you and others need to see my son. Here we go.
Okay, hold on. Don't take this the wrong way. It's just that when I start looking more like your son, people get uncomfortable around me, you know? I mean, even my friends at church, they're all like, oh, you're holier than thou. Why won't you do that, you know? I mean,
So what you're doing right now is you rather play God in certain areas of your life than for me to be God over your whole life.
I did not say that.
That's what you meant.
Yes, it is. it's hard to talk to you. I mean, you know everything I'm thinking. I'm just saying, you've done good work. Maybe we take a little break, a little time out, then we'll come back to it.
What you're doing right now is so common. What you're doing right now is called control. Do you want to control things in your life, or can I chisel? Control, chisel, control.
No, chisel.
Here we go.
No, can we chisel where I want them?
That's called control.
Okay.
You've been holding on to this for a long time. You ready for this?
It hurts.
This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Ow! I don't think you understand this pain.
Don't talk to me about pain. I know all about pain. I sent my son to die on the cross for pain, for sin, but I also did it for another reason, to give you freedom. Do you know what insanity is? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. And there are the things in your life, you even think back to high school, that you've been doing that do not work in your life, but you go to these empty wells whenever you're hurting, whenever you're angry, whenever you're lonely and tired, but they do not work.
No, okay. I'm thinking maybe
Your
we
thoughts
could...
are not my thoughts.
Oh, okay, but if we went another way,
Your
we
ways
could...
are not my ways.
Okay, well, look, I can't be good.
You can't be good. I've made you good. Be good. What?
Nothing.
What is it?
You wouldn't understand.
I, God of all the universe, wouldn't understand something one of my children has to say. Try me.
It's just... God, I've let you down so many times.
No, you were never holding me up. I hold you up with my victorious, righteous right hand, and don't you forget that. In this relationship, I hold you up.
Okay. Chisel away.
All right.
But just be prepared for what you're going to find in there. Because I know who's inside there. Because God, I get up every morning and I look at him in the mirror. And it is this scared little kid who gets up every day and tries to dress like an adult and act like an adult, but I can't. So just be prepared for what you're going to find in there.
You have listened to so many voices for far too long that are not of me. You think you're junk, don't you? You really, really, really think you're junk. Listen to me. I don't make junk. What does that say about me? How can I show you that my love for you has no boundaries? I know. Reach in your back pocket.
What?
Reach in your back pocket.
Why?
Are you arguing with me? Reach in your back pocket.
God.
Yes?
I was just saying, God, I'll do that right now.
You were just saying my name in vain.
You know what? It's a name, it's a saying.
It's more than a name, it's more than a saying, it's more than a bad habit. It's a name above all names. I want to teach you something about my name. Reach in your back pocket. You know what that is?
This is a page from a journal I had when I was younger. How'd you get this?
Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, read it.
I love Angie Holland.
Other side.
Sorry. I married her.
I was there.
Oh, yeah. Dear God, today I am turning everything over to you. I'm not going to hold on to anything anymore. Your word says that you will make me your masterpiece and use me to do great things. I don't see how it's possible, but I want that with all that I am. So please do whatever it takes to make me what you want. I love you, God.
I love you too, Tommy. And I love you too much just to leave you where you're at. So this salvation that you hold, don't let it be some sentimental gush or some head knowledge. I want you to work it out in every detail of your life. And don't compare yourself to someone else, because that is just trivial nonsense. You are my original masterpiece. You are one of my workmanship, and you I find favor. Don't look at this as a prison, but look at this as a father disciplines his child. A father disciplines the ones he loves.
I know, but it's going to be tough.
Yes, it'll be tough. But you bought into the lie thinking everything was going to be easy when you said yes to me. It's not how it works. I want you to do something. I want you to look up there and I want you to say, Tommy is God's original masterpiece.
Tommy.
No. The way you see yourself, or you yearn so much for others to see you. But the way I see you.
Tommy is God's original masterpiece.
Yes, you are.
And so are you. God doesn't make junk. You are an original masterpiece.